Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to talk about DonBrothers won't be adapted into Power Rangers. And I think we've all seen it, and I think most of us can kind of agree to this one. So yeah, I don't think it can be adapted. I think 100% this one won't be adapted, where Zenkaija could have been to some degree with a bit tweaking and a lot of stuff. But for this one, I want to go over some of my points. This is probably going to be a quick video. But yeah, if you like this sort of video and you want to see more, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on all notifications. Why not? Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? Turn it on. You know it's there. Anyway, I'm going to start the video. So hit subscribe, and with that, let's jump into the video. Now, we're about 4 episodes in at the time of this recording, which is the 29th of the 3rd, 2022. It's a lot of videos recording on this day. But anyway, on this one, I feel like we couldn't do it. And after seeing episode 2, as well as some of the elements in kind of the first one, I feel like this can't be done. Now, let's take out the elements of the Sentais that aren't being used, or that can't be adapted. Lupin Ranger versus Pata Ranger, Q Ranger, and stuff like that. And obviously anything else like Zenkaija couldn't be used as a power, but because the discs are, or the gears are very similar to most of the other things, you could use them and use the past Rangers and use that as your main footage. I think that would be fine. You could easily do that. But the main thing is it's based on a Japanese story of Peach Boy. And from what we've seen is Power Rangers doesn't normally kind of adapt Japanese stories or anything like that. Maybe Shinkenger. I don't think Shinkenger was a proper a Japanese story. So as Peach Boy is, I don't think it would be kind of easy to adapt, because there could be lots of different similarities, maybe the costumes and stuff like that. But I think that's the main, maybe a small reason why it can't be done. Now, the biggest elephant in the room is pretty much simple. DonBrothers Pink and DonBrothers Black. Now, I kind of wanted to wait a while to see how this could be done, and even if there is a slight way of doing it, which is not using CGI and stuff like that, I feel like if they wanted to use any of the Sentai footage, I don't think that they could do, which even if Toei gave Power Rangers or Hasbro the actual 3D models of the stuff, I feel like you would be spending a lot of time arranging the footage, arranging the way that the characters are, and they may be able to adjust it to be slightly better, but I really kind of don't see that happening quite a bit. And especially with, say, some of the storylines that I've only seen so far, I think this would be a lot harder to kind of do. But my main kind of thing would mainly be the 3D modeling that they've got in there. Now, if they decided that to use the original suits, the ones that they've made that are physical, yeah, maybe there might be a chance. But using the CGI, using the 3D models to do stuff, I feel like it would be a lot harder and a lot more time consuming. So you'd say you start filming now, yeah, you might be able to get more into it, but will it be as successful as what we're seeing in Japan right now? A lot of time consuming to doing 3D modeling and stuff. So when people say, oh yeah, they could do their own thing, yeah, they could do, that's no problem. But it's a lot more time consuming, as well as making sure you're hitting the mark. So yeah, you could get people in green suits kind of fighting the main bad guys, or blue suits or whatever, and then kind of motion tracking that in a live, like a live element. But when it came to actually editing it and putting it in there, I think that it would look way too out there. And even if you look at it from a Power Rangers motif, when we've seen stuff like this in the past with, say, puppets or, you know, characters that don't work, it really takes it out there. And I think even if it's aimed at kids type thing, I think that they probably wouldn't like it. So I think that you would find that the series isn't doing very well. It's still really early days for DonBrothers, don't get me wrong, we're on episode 4 at the moment at the time of the recording this video. But I do kind of think that if they tried to do it, I think that they just wouldn't care, and maybe they would just go, okay, we're going to use the same footage or our own original footage with the characters in normal costume, which would be fine. I wouldn't mind that, but I think the 3D element is the strongest one, and even when you have the little kind of Peach Boy element when Don Momotaro uses it and transforms, I feel like that would be lost in translation and we wouldn't get it that much and it would look a bit weird for what it is. I think you also got to look at how Don Momotaro walks in, how he comes in every single time, where you'd have to reshoot pretty much everything in that way, where I don't think a lot of people or like a younger generation would understand the idea of it being a festival. So he's carried in on his bike, you know, you've got people dancing and stuff like that. You could probably redo it or actually take that out completely and then use it. But I feel like if you do that, some of the kind of mannerisms, I don't know. If you know that word, let me know in the comments. But I feel like the way that he acts isn't like a normal ranger. The only ranger I can think of that reminded me of like Don Momotaro would be the White Ranger. So when they used a White Kiba, and then he was doing that kind of jumping about as a kid, you kind of thought that was Tommy, not obviously a kid jumping about and doing stuff. So I kind of feel like if you use that, it wouldn't work very well. This is just my opinion on this one. I think you'd also have to have maybe a different type of finisher or change it completely. I still think the gun element would be a thing, but it looks more like a blaster. I know the Gatlinger and stuff like that looked more like it, but to me it still looked like a mini chain gun. So I can see that they would change it, and obviously it fires bullets. Where this one, from what I've seen, looks like it fires lasers, so you could probably get away with it, and it looks like a Nerf gun. It'd be perfect for Nerf. I would love a giant Don Blaster Nerf gun. That would be really kind of cool. I think that's the way I would go if you were making this morph into Power Rangers. I feel like even if you had this all together, it wouldn't work well to the point where it would just be a lot of hard work, where most of the time is that you'd either have to do your own thing or you'd have to kind of remodel those ranges, because it'd be a lot harder to shift between, say, two different like versions where it's American footage and then suddenly it's like, why are you a 3D model, why are you so tall type thing. So I feel like those are the things in there that would really work. Like I think it's those things in there that wouldn't work. To be fair, I do really think that this could be adapted, but it would be a lot harder. And I think that when you look at the sort of work that goes into it, I think if this was adapted, it would be either much later on, but right now I don't think this can be adapted. It could change much later on, but I generally think the story of Peach Boy, the story of what's been going on, wouldn't kind of work well when it got translated. But yeah, they're just kind of my thoughts on this. Early days, I might do an update video when we get halfway through the series and see if it could be or not. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and if you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and with that, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。